Mrs. Johnston here, back to work on applying what we've learned about evergreen trees. Can you describe an evergreen tree for me? Did you say some answers like an evergreen tree does not lose its leaves in the fall? An evergreen tree has thin needles? Maybe you stated an evergreen tree has cones that hold the seeds. We are going to draw a picture of evergreen trees, and I want you to show as many details as possible. Although evergreen trees are always green, they can look different depending on the season or the weather. I want you to draw a background to help show these differences. So to start our drawing, I took my paper and I folded it hamburger way, so it was on the short sides. Now I'm going to fold it in half again. This way, when I open my paper back up, we are going to have four boxes. We have one, two, three, four. And so we can show we can show our evergreen tree in the four seasons. Even though an evergreen tree stays evergreen all year long, we can use our background to show what season it is. So Mrs. Johnston is going to pause her video and I'm going to draw my evergreen tree in the spring with what it is going to look like. All right, so I have drawn my evergreen trees in the spring. Notice that they've got still their green needles, and I've just got some very light grass starting to come up because remember, after the winter, my grass is not green yet. It's still kind of brown and dead. Now I'm going to work on what my evergreen tree looks like in the summer. All right, so Mrs. Johnston's back. Now I have what my evergreen tree looks like in the summer. And although it is very similar to what it looks like in the spring, the needles have filled in a little bit more because of the sun producing more sunlight. I now have pine cones that are still in the tree or have come back. These are where the seeds are held, and the grass is greener. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to focus on what my deciduous tree looks like in the fall. All right, back with my evergreen tree and what it looks like in the fall. And you can see my needles are still green, but now my pine cones have fallen off. Remember, the seeds are in the pine cones, and so they are going to go back down into the ground and try to start a new tree. So now I just have one last one to show what my evergreen tree looks like in the winter time. All right, I'm back with my final drawing, what my evergreen tree is going to look like in the winter. And my needles are still green, but now I've tried to show a light layer of snow on the ground and some snow on top of the needles. I used a light gray, tried to give like a shading effect of what the snow is going to look like. So even though my evergreen tree stays evergreen in all of the seasons, each tree looks a little bit different during the seasons that it happens to cycle through. I hope you enjoyed learning more about evergreen trees and drawing and explaining and talking to Mrs. Johnston about what the trees look like through each season. I can't wait to see what your drawings look like.